Hey guys, if you are looking for a yoga for men routine, specifically made for men, guys in their 50s and 60s, this is it. In this follow along routine, I'm going to walk you through an easy to follow yoga for men stretching routine. We're going to work on your shoulders, your hips, your back, getting rid of pain, getting rid of stiffness, and helping you be more flexible. This is something that you can do every day if you want to, and the results happen pretty quickly. So do your best, follow along, and be sure to subscribe for more. All right, so we're going to start off with a supported side bend on the wall. So I want you to put both hands against the wall, almost like you're doing a cartwheel into the wall. You're not going to. And then press your hips away from the wall. Right arm is on top, left arm is on the bottom for now. Walk your right arm back. So just kind of inch your right arm toward the back, and then cross your left foot over your right foot. As you press your hands into the wall, roll back your right shoulder and press your hips to the outside. So this is a big stretch. You're going to feel the stretch all the way from your outer right hip up through your hands. Try to keep your head somewhat neutral here. Don't just let it fall, but keep it somewhat active. I don't want you to, collapse your head here. And we're just going to work on feeling this deep stretch through the side of the body. Deep breaths. As you inhale, get bigger. And as you exhale, work deeper into the stretch. And just focus on your breathing for now. And notice that as you exhale, you can relax your body. Typically, if you're doing stretches like this for the first time, it's going to be uncomfortable. The sooner you can kind of get a grasp or get a hold of your breath and make sure that you're using your breath to control your body, it's going to be a lot easier. One more breath. All right, and then slowly, carefully come out of that. Give yourself a little break to kind of reset. And then we're going to switch sides. So now, right side facing the body. Again, kind of like you're doing a cartwheel into the wall. Fingers are facing back, palms flat on the wall. Press into the wall, bring your hips away from the wall. Feel that stretch from the left hip up through your left armpit area. And then cross your right foot over your left foot. And focus on that breathing. And as you exhale, you don't have to go deeper into the pose, but the goal is to use the exhale to relax into it. So that might mean that you just become more accustomed to the degree of the stretch that you're currently in. That could mean that you go deeper into it. But we do want to have some sort of progression, some sort of deeper relaxation or working deeper into the stretch by using that breath. To go deeper, you can walk your left arm further back. You can also press your hips further to the outside. Keep your neck upright here. Don't let your head collapse. And even if your body is telling you to breathe shallowly and lose control, fight that. Focus on that slow, controlled breathing. That breathing is reassuring your body that you're okay. And that's going to help you work deeper into the stretch, work on your flexibility, and release tension. 2 more breaths. All right, and then slowly come out of that. Turn back to face toward the wall. Bring yourself away from the wall. Move your body a little bit, kind of shake that out. And now moving into a down dog on the wall. So down dog on the wall is nice because it just isn't as difficult. We're going to be able to focus on the shoulders and your hips without worrying so much on your back. So I want you to stand with your feet about shoulder width distant. And we're going to make an L shape with your body, hands against the wall. Push your chest down toward the floor. Make sure that your back isn't rounded here. So to do that, you're going to bend your knees. Think about reaching your tailbone toward the back, wherever your butt's facing. Reach your tailbone in that direction, kind of like you're arching your back. And then bring your shoulders down away from the ears, kind of like you're plugging your shoulders into your back. And then allow your chest to press down
Keep your chin relaxed, keep your head neutral. As you exhale, you can straighten your legs maybe half an inch more. So feeling your stretch through your hamstrings. Try to keep your abs engaged like you would for a plank. So you want to feel those core muscles working. And you're also going to be feeling stretching through the shoulder here. So as the chest presses down and you think about kind of engaging those muscles in the upper back, you'll feel stretching through the front of your torso. It helps to look slightly forward to make sure that you don't get dizzy. And again, really firmly pressing into the wall with your hands, pushing your chest toward the floor, maybe straightening the legs a little bit more as you hold this. We're going to do 3 more breaths. Again, if you start to feel kind of uncomfortable or like you're getting lightheaded, then pick your head up and look slightly forward. Get your heart above your hips. Last breath here. All right, to get out of this, bend your knees, slowly look forward, walk your feet one by one toward the wall, and come upright. All right, we were down in that position for a while. Make sure you move slowly here. Don't fall over, don't lose your balance. And now moving into our next pose, Warrior One. So Warrior One is a great exercise for your hips, for your groin. That's going to help with your back, with your knees, and of course with your hips. So right leg forward, take a big step back with your left foot, pointed out 45 degrees. I want you to think creating a nice long line from the front of your left foot up through the left hip, across your body to your right shoulder. Bend into your right knee, knee goes over the ankle. Push your left hip toward your right knee, and then bring your arms up. So here we're combining endurance with flexibility. You're feeling that stretch through your left hip while also working your endurance, right? We still have to hold our body weight up here with our legs. As you exhale, you can go deeper into the stretch. Again, pushing that left hip toward the right knee. Hips are doing their best to square forward. So just make sure that your hips aren't facing out to the side. They're not going to face completely forward just because of the way this leg is positioned, but that's the goal. I want you to think about that. And then bring your hands behind your neck, behind your head, fingers interlace. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, twist toward your right. Inhale back to the middle. Exhale toward the right again. And then keep this up. We're going to do 6 of these. And this is cool because we're combining thoracic mobility, so working on your upper and your mid back, with hip flexibility. Feel free to go deeper into this lunge as you hold it. And as you exhale and twist, you might be able to go deeper into the twist with every rep. So you'll notice that your body adjusts the longer you hold it. 1 more of these twists. Turn back to the middle, bring your arms up. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into this for 1 more breath. And then release your hands and stand up. All right, we'll switch sides now. Left leg forward, right leg back. Again, right leg is going, that back foot is going to point out at 45 degrees. Think about lengthening from your right ankle all the way up to the right hip, across your body to the left shoulder. That's going to help you get the best stretch through your groin. Press into the outer edge of your back foot. Press down to the heel. Squeeze your right thigh so that right leg is straight. Pull your ribs up and away from the hips, so we're maintaining good posture, maintaining height through your body while also stretching the hips. And we're doing our best to angle the hips straight forward, not out to the side, but straight forward. Arms come up. Take a couple breaths here. Get set. As you exhale, work deeper into that lunge. Or if you feel comfortable where you are, you don't have to go any deeper. If you're already feeling a really nice stretch, don't feel the need to push further into it. The point of these postures is to do them in a way that works for your body. You never want to just mirror somebody because that's not going to help you. All right, bring your hands behind the neck now, fingers interlace. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, twist toward your left. Try to keep your hips in the same position. Inhaling back. Exhaling, twisting. Going up to 6 of these as well. If you're holding this and you notice that your hips want to move further forward, allow them to go deeper into the stretch. That's what we're here for. Just a little bit more here, 2 more. And then you'll be done. This is the hardest exercise of the day. This is the longest hold that you're going to do. Back to the middle, lift your arms up. Sink a little bit deeper into your warrior 1. 1 more breath. And then stand back up.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. Really quick, if you're enjoying this approach and you want to keep doing these workouts, I've got a free 30-day Manful Yoga Challenge that you can do right here on YouTube. No sign up required. Just go to the link below in the description when this video is finished.
Woo! All right. Nice little bit of endurance work for your lower body. From here, we're going to move into a runner's lunge. So right leg forward, big step back with your left foot, feet further apart than you had them for that warrior 1. And then bring a block inside your right foot. Rest your hands on that block. And then for 3 breaths, you're going to hold this, thinking about kind of pushing your right knee forward and squeezing your left quadriceps to lift the back knee. So lots of stretching here through your groin, again, through your hip flexors. Keep your chest upright, using the block as needed to help support your body weight. And the next exhale, I want you to release that back knee down. If you need to put a towel under that knee, if the knee is sensitive, put a towel, put some sort of cushion there. And then edge your right foot out to the edge of the mat. Pick your chest up, pull your chest forward and up, and allow your hips to sink forward toward the block. This is lizard pose. This is a really good stretch for your hips, working on your hip flexors, but also working on your adductors, your inner thighs. The block is nice because it allows us to focus on the hips instead of having to worry about whether our back is flat. I like doing these stretches, or I like doing most stretches with my spine kind of in a either a neutral or an extended position, or arching my back. The reason for that is most of us sit during the day. We have poor posture. We're sitting on the couch. We're sitting at the desk. And we need to do more of the opposite rather than doing more of the same to make sure that we're keeping our bodies healthy and mobile. So I recommend trying to arch your back slightly as you're doing lizard here. And remembering to keep your breathing nice and long, slow and controlled. As you inhale, maybe getting taller, getting bigger. And as you exhale, sinking deeper into it, allowing your hips to relax. 1 more breath here. All right, and then slowly come out of this. And we're going to switch sides. Left leg is forward, right leg is back into a runner's lunge. Again, you can think about pushing your left knee forward while pressing your right heel back. Pull your chest forward and up. Try to keep the weight in your hips for now. Don't let all the weight go into the block, but use the block as you need, as needed, to help support yourself. Just make sure you're not putting all the weight into your left knee. Try to keep it in the hips. And that's typical for all of yoga. I want you to really focus on keeping the weight in the hips. 1 more breath in runner's lunge. And then as you exhale, slowly lower the right knee down. Again, if you want to use a cushion, put the cushion under your right knee. Crawl your left foot out to the edge of the mat. Lightly rest your hands on your block. And then pull your chest forward and up. And you can lightly press your hip forward here to deepen the stretch through your hip flexors. So as you exhale, you're releasing tension through your shoulders, allowing your hips to relax. You're not necessarily forcing your hips toward the block here. You're using the exhale to allow your hips to relax deeper into the stretch. You might notice that one leg or one side is more flexible than the other, and that's totally normal. You're going to have one side that's the dominant side. You're going to have one leg that is more flexible than the other. You don't have to necessarily do anything to fix it unless you notice that it's a real problem, but be aware of it and work towards slowly correcting that imbalance. 3 more breaths here. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep your face relaxed even. The more tension you can keep out of your body, the easier it is to work deeper into these stretches. Last breath. All right, and then come out of that. You're going to come into a kneeling position here. And from here, moving into needle thread. So this is a really good exercise for your shoulders. Knees go wide, about as wide as the mat. Big toes touch, so your toes are untucked. Relax your butt down toward your heels as much as is comfortable. Don't worry about getting your butt to your heels. It's not important. Just as much as you can, get your butt toward your heels. Walk your arms out in front of you, kind of like you're doing a child's pose. And then slide your right hand between your left knee and your left hand and relax the outside of your right shoulder on the ground. Press the back of your right arm down into the ground and then pull it back toward the right. You're not actually going to move the arm at all, but just pretending that you're pulling that arm to the right to facilitate the stretch through your right upper back. So you're going to feel a nice stretch kind of on the inside of your right shoulder blade, maybe moving up through the shoulder and the neck. Relax the right side of your head on the ground. Make sure you're not lifting your head up or doing anything uncomfortable with the head. And make sure to keep your shoulders down away from the ears. Don't allow your right shoulder to creep up to your ear. You can lightly press down through your left hand as you're holding this. And make sure you're keeping your hips back here. We don't want your butt really far forward and you're doing any... You can do a little bit of a twist here, but I want you to focus on the upper back. Two more breaths. All right. And then come back to that child's pose that we had before. Take a breath to kind of get reset. And then slide your left hand through your right hand and your right knee. Rest the back of your left arm on the ground. See if you can get that outer left shoulder on the ground. Your right hand is going to come right in front of your face. Relax the left side of your head down. And then pull your left arm back toward the left just to activate that stretch through your upper back. And lightly press down through your right hand. We're just going to hold this stretch. Slow, controlled breathing. As you inhale, fill up as much as you possibly can. And as you exhale, maybe working deeper into that stretch. Whether that means going, physically deeper, moving more into the stretch, or if it just means releasing tension and becoming more comfortable in whatever degree of the stretch you're in. Two breaths to go. All right. Good job. Go ahead and come out of that. Back to child's pose to kind of relax and reset. And now I'm moving into puppy. So if you have 2 blocks, you can use 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks at all, that's fine. You're going to have your knees under your hips here, your arms out in front of you, like you were doing a down dog or a child's pose. And then pull your hips away from your shoulders. Press your chest toward the ground. Wherever your head ends up is fine. If it's off the ground or if it's relaxing on the mat or the ground, that's fine. And you're going to work on getting a big stretch through your shoulders here. Now, if you have the blocks, this is going to allow you to go a little bit deeper into the stretch. You can use whatever setting of the block you'd like to use. Just make sure that your arms are about shoulder width distant. So this is a really good one for correcting posture or helping to stretch the muscles that get tight during posture. Nice thing about this one is it's also restorative, so it doesn't take too much strength to do, so it's something that you can do when you're, at the end of the day when you don't have a lot of energy, or something that you can do after work when you don't feel up to an intense workout. We're going to do 3 more breaths here. Keep in mind you've got lots of different settings on this block, on these blocks, so you can turn it up or turn it down, however much you want to do. And you can play around with your leg positioning too. If you want your knees to be right below your hips and they're a little more active, you can do that. You can also kind of move closer toward a child's pose and bring your butt closer toward your heels. It's really up to you. Whichever stretch feels good for you right now, that's the variation I would do. Last breath. All right. Go ahead and come out of that. And now we're going to flip over onto your back for a reclined twist. And this is a really important one for your lower back. So just go ahead and lie flat on your back. Bring your knees above your hips. Bring your arms out to the sides, making a T with your arms. And then bring your legs over toward the left. Bring your what hand is this? My left hand. Bring your left hand on top of your right knee and reach your right arm out toward the right. You want to do your best to get your hips to face to the outside here and get your chest to face up. And that's what's going to help us kind of work deeper into this twist. Deep breathing here. And as you exhale, you can allow that right shoulder to relax closer to the ground. And you're going to feel the stretch kind of through the right side of your body, maybe through that low back and the outer hip area. And that's our goal here. This one is, this reclined twist is incredibly important for anybody who sits during the day. So if you spend a lot of time at a desk, this is something that I would get in the habit of doing every day, whether you do it in the morning or maybe you do it when you get home from work, maybe you do it before you go to bed at night. But this is a really low intensity stretch and just really important for keeping your back happy and pain-free. So try to do this reclined twist on a daily basis if you can. One more breath. All right, back to the middle. And as you exhale, go ahead and switch sides. Bring your legs over to the right now. Bring your right hand on top of your left knee. Left arm reaches out to the left. Try to press the back of your left shoulder into the ground. As you do that, you might also feel some stretching through your pecs, through your chest area. And that is normal. That is a good thing. As you exhale, relax deeper into that twist. Again, you want the hips facing directly to the outside, and you're doing your best to get your chest to face straight up. You can close your eyes if that helps you feel more relaxed. Remember, the goal here is flexibility, and we do that through breathing, through relaxing, through releasing tension. So if you can relax your face, if you can slow down your breathing, that sends a message to your body to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest system or response, and that will help you relax. 2 breaths. All right, and then back to the middle. Plant your feet, and we're going to go ahead and grab a strap. and do some reclined strap stretches. So these are some of my favorite restorative exercises. If you can do this series we're about to do once per week, your body's going to be really happy for it. So we're going to start with your right foot. Put the strap around the bottom of your right foot. Bring your right leg straight up. Actually, start with the knee bent, and then squeeze your thigh back toward your body. You can flex your toes down. If you're sadistic and you want a calf stretch, actually, no, it's a good thing to do. Most of us need to stretch our calves way more than we already do. And then when you feel good there, you can press the back of the right leg forward, and now we're getting a more comprehensive stretch for the back of your right leg. Keep your left leg kind of neutral here. So if you want, you can keep your toes facing up, maybe the toes flexing back a little bit, and you can lightly press the back of your left leg into the ground to help keep the hip stable, to stretch your right hip. To make this more intense, you can bring the leg in closer to you, right? So you can bring your knee closer to your face. And you want to keep your back flat as you're doing this, so make sure that you're not rounding your back. This position is really nice because for the most part, you're not going to do anything funky with your back. So it allows us to focus on the hamstrings. Whereas a lot of more active postures in yoga, we have to actively focus on keeping the back flat to prevent us from doing anything funky there while stretching the hamstrings. Whereas this is all focused on hamstrings, don't have to worry about your back much. All right, next variation of the stretch. Keep your left leg where it is, keep your right hip on the ground, and then bring your right leg about 6 inches over to the left. Woo! And you're gonna feel the stretch through the outer right thigh and the outer right hip. Try to keep your right shoulder on the ground, and again, keep your right hip down. So I don't want you to just bring your leg all the way over to the left like that. You're just bringing your leg over about 6 inches, maybe a foot, until you feel that stretch through your outer quadricep and the outer hip. Try to keep the leg straight if you can. If you want to make it more intense, bring your leg in closer to your body. 3 breaths here. Hey, Edward, how much time am I at right now?
Yeah, about 28.
Okay. All right, thanks. All right, and then moving on to the next station, you're going to bring your leg all the way over to the right. Keep your left hip down. So here you want to make sure that you can keep that left hip down. You're not lifting the left hip off the ground, and you're focusing on stretching your inner right thigh. If you feel like you're kind of pulling at the knee, then I want you to bend your right leg at first, and then straighten that leg until the stretch is in your inner thigh, and you don't feel like you're stretching a tendon. We don't want that. To make this more intense, you can bring your strap higher, right? Or you can bring your toes up closer to your shoulder. Just make sure you're keeping that left hip down. And this is a really important one for releasing tension in your back. All of the muscles in your hips are connected to your back, but your adductors, your glutes in particular, are going to have a big effect on how your lower back is feeling. 2 more breaths here. All right, and then bring your leg back up. Bring your knee in toward your chest and take your strap off that right leg. Bring your right leg out, bring your left knee in. Strap goes around the sole of your left foot now. Left leg comes up. Flex your toes down. Get that calf stretch. Again, I like to focus on bringing my knee in toward my chest initially. And then once I hold that for a breath or two, then you can take a big inhale. And as you exhale, straighten that leg a little bit. Increase the intensity of that stretch. So hopefully that's kind of indicative of another trend in yoga, which is we can hold the pose for a couple breaths initially, kind of get set, and then we can use the exhale to go deeper into it. So the longer you hold a stretch, typically the deeper we are able to work into the stretch. So initially we get into a stretch, your body is like, oh my God, that's tight, I don't want to do it. You take a couple of deep breaths, you reassure your body that you're okay, and your muscles are like, oh, okay, we can relax. And then you stretch. Again, as you exhale, if you want to work deeper into it, go for it. It's also helpful to pay attention to the differences between your left and your right sides. So you'll notice that, right, one side's tighter, maybe one side has more tension, and that is normal. One more breath here. And then bring your leg over toward the right. Keep that left hip down. Woo! That is tight. So if you sit at a desk, these muscles are particularly tight. So if you look at me for a second, you can keep doing the stretch, but look at me for a second. This is the exact opposite of what we do right at when we're at a desk, when our knee is up like this, our outer hips are tightened. So when we bring the leg across the body and straighten the leg, we're stretching all of those muscles that are normally in a super tight position. So this is a really good stretch for countering being in a seated position for hours on end, but it's intense, right? Because our body gets strong in the positions that we spend a lot of time in. And that includes when we're not working out too. So even if you don't think of sitting as training, sitting is training your body to become stronger in some areas and weaker in other areas. And this is just one really good example of that. Take one more deep breath here. All right, and then bring your leg back to the middle. Take it all the way to the outside. Bend your knee slightly so we can focus on that stretch through the inner thigh. You don't want to feel any sort of stretching around the knee. We don't want to be stretching the tendon there. So again, bend the knee at first and then straighten the leg so we feel that stretch in the inner thigh. Keep your right hip down on the ground. It even helps if you want, you can bring your right hand and actually push kind of your, whatever that protruding bone in your pelvis is and your hips, right on your right hip. You can push that down to the floor, and that'll help you get a better stretch through your inner left thigh. Keep your shoulders down, keep your head relaxed, neck, face, all relaxed. You can pull the strap up higher if you want to go deeper into the stretch. I would have you aim in restorative stretches. I would have you aim for anywhere from a 4 to a 6. Right? So we're not trying to go, if we go too high on the intensity scale, you're not going to be able to relax. So if we can aim for a stretch that's medium intensity, that's actually going to allow you to go deeper in the stretch because we're actually able to relax. Whereas if we just go redliner, straight to 10 out of 10 intensity, your muscles are not going to relax and you won't stretch. One more breath here. All right, and then slowly bring it back to the middle. Take the strap off. I've got one more stretch for you. I'm going to have you find that wall once more. And we're going to do a reclined figure 4 against the wall. So you're going to position your right foot on the wall so that your shin is parallel to the ground, knee is above the hip, and then cross your left ankle over your right thigh, just below the knee. Make a figure 4 with your legs, all right? We can see that figure 4 with the legs here. Flex your left toes back toward your shin. Externally rotate your left hip, right? So I'm not pressing the knee forward, I'm turning my hip out. Press down through your right foot, so push your right foot into the wall, and then hold this external rotation. So this is a reclined figure 4 modification using the wall, and this is helping to stretch your piriformis. If you have sciatica, this is a must stretch. This is a must-do stretch for you. And the benefit of using the wall, we don't have to worry about craning our head up. We don't have to worry about holding on to anything with the arms. So this is just a really nice modification. If you don't have the wall, you're going to do something very similar. You're just going to grip the back of your right leg and kind of hold in like this. But it just does cause more tension because we have to use our hands and our head comes up. So use the wall if you can. And you can do 3 more breaths here. If you want to make this more intense, grab your left knee, so the outside of your left knee, grab your left foot and kind of bring your shin in toward your chest. So we're kind of recreating a pigeon pose here. Exhale, go deeper into the stretch. Be careful with that knee. Again, moving from the hip, not from the knee. And then go ahead and release, and we'll switch sides. So cross your left foot, or plant your left foot, make that shin parallel, cross the right ankle over your left thigh now, make that figure 4. Externally rotate your right hip, push into the wall firmly with your left foot. Keep your arms relaxed on the ground if you can. If you can't, you're going to reach through and interlace the fingers under the left thigh. Flex your right toes back toward your shin. That's going to help protect your knee here. And then we're just going to hold. Try to keep your hips square. There's a tendency, you can kind of cheat yourself and make your hips uneven and make yourself think that you're going deeper into the pose. But keep your hips square. Focus on that external rotation. And again, focus on the sensation of the stretch. You don't necessarily have to mirror me. You don't have to look exactly like I'm doing in terms of my depth. You just want to do the pose in a way that allows you to keep your back in the right position and gets you that target area stretch. If you want to make it more intense, again, you can bring your leg in closer. Just make sure that knee is supported. Two more breaths. All right, and then go ahead and release, uncross your leg.
All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that workout. Be sure to subscribe if you like this approach and you want more. I put out new videos every week. I've also got a full series of these videos called the Yoga for Men series. There's 6 total workouts, and right above my shoulder here is the first workout in the series. So I highly recommend going through the full series if you enjoyed this and you want more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.